Hi everybody, this is a black and red Arcane Bombardment and Hit the Mother Lode deck. We're leaving out Breach the Multiverse so we don't mill ourselves, but we do still get to reanimate all of our opponent's best stuff thanks to Virtue of Persistence. I'm running Trumpeting Carnosaur and Phyrexian Fleshgorger to have some gigantic threats that we can ramp into with Hit the Mother Lode, and of course Big Score gives us some more mana so that we can not only Arcane Bombardment a little ahead of time, but also Hit the Mother Lode ahead of time. Let's go see a few games with this deck over on the ranked standard ladder. Alright, it's time once again for a ridiculous deck list. We're trying to hit the Mother Lode again. Got some Arcane Bombardment in here to try and hit the Mother Lode over and over again. Arena decides to give me 3 Fleshgorgers, but I think we'll be alright. Gonna need a second black source at some point, but we've at least got Big Score. Might even be able to cheat out an early Trumpeting Carnosaur if we're lucky. Alright, well, second black online with that Sulfurous Springs. Carnosaur. Looks like a 3-cost channeler. It's actually my first time playing with the Carnosaur. I got tired of all my red-green dinosaur opponents playing it against me. I was like, you know what? I've got a stupid deck that I can go into. Alright, opponent's got a Bramble Familiar. And they've already channeled a herd migration. I wonder if we're on a similar path here. Me and my opponent. Let's get rid of that familiar. So, this is looking like a mix of Domain, possibly that old Shards of Alara, or Invasion of Alara deck, that cheats out things with fetch quests that's attached to the Bramble Familiar. And there's probably an Atraxa over there. Alright, well, opponent's pretty much got Domain going on. Let's go for Big Score while they don't have any blue mana. We'll discard our tap land here. Get a Takenuma and a burn down the house. Big Score, another draw. Well, I suppose we could deny our opponent some mana if we feel to ruin the right thing. Get ourselves a more reliable source of black mana here. I don't know, maybe that was the right call. I feel like they probably don't have that many basics. They probably just have one of each, right? Or maybe not even that much if they rely on the tri-lands. Let's see what they come up with here. Okay, they do get the island, so they do need blue for something. But at least they are still lacking the mountain and the swamp that they had before with that lounge. Because that is a haunted ridge over there. They had the mountain in hand. Alright, well, never mind. Thought we were in for some genius strategy on my side of the board, but opponent lands a Luca. It's going to make some toxic beasts with that. Okay. Well, they are tapped out. Safe for a Big Score. Let's discard this Fleshgorger. We get Virtue, and we've got Burn Down the House in hand. Alright, let's play out Springs. Let's try to stick a big Virtue of Persistence here. We can afford to take a hit from this beast, and I think even if Luca pluses, I think we can still wipe all this away with a Burn Down the House. Ugh, opponent's got that Leyline of Binding. So disheartening that we work towards these giant things, and they get to exile our stuff for 2 mana. Alright, well, Domain not a problem for the opponent. Makes another Toxic Beast. We pick up a Blast Zone. Well, yeah, I think we got to burn down the house here. Alright, board is wiped. Blast Zone down. Let's see. Yeah, don't want to cycle that. So the thing with Blast Zone is, like, normally it's great in these black and red decks where you can't... Now, come on. They Boseiju you the Blast Zone. Alright, well, we'll go searching for a land. I was just about to say, it's going to take us a lot of counters to be able to get rid of this Leyline Binding with our Blast Zone, but opponent took away that decision from me. Let's cycle this lounge. Okay, now you're talking. So we've got Bombardment but no spells. We can play a giant Fleshgorger without using any of our treasures. Let's try that. Let's try to get any more removal they've got out of their hand. got a lot of experience playing bombardment decks against Domain, and they love just holding on to that last binding to hit bombardment with, especially when I'm not running enchantment removal. Alright, opponent hits our Fleshgorger with... Oh no! Good game. Alright. Alright, well, I'm treating that as a warm-up. Let's mulligan that. We're going to keep this and burn down the house. Alright, I think we're good. We'll start off with the tap land. Opponent with a mountain. This bodes for mono red. Alright, there's bombardment. Been having some fun lately using these decks with Discover, trying to cheat things out. Cards that have 2 different mana costs on them. Opponent runs out the Swift Spear, gets the counter from Kumano. Too big for my play with fire. No way we could have responded to that to get rid of that. Huh. They play the second mountain. Usually they've got the Monstrous Rage for that, but not sure what that says about our opponent's hand. Alright, well, Virtue of Persistence can take care of that. No response from the opponent, but we had to play with fire anyway. Kumano's going to flip over. Let's see if they've got any creatures left in that hand. Land number 3, Sardian Cliff Stomper. That's a new one for me. Goes to attack with Kumano. I'm going to play with fire that. We've got to burn down the house in hand, and there's nothing more annoying than playing Devils out while there's the etching on the board and just nullifies the whole thing. Gix's command, our draw. That is... We're going to need some lands here. Raging Battle Mouse hitting the board. Liking the experimentation going on over here. Okay, good. There's a 4th land. That at least enables a few ways we can get out of this. Can start activating our Restless Vents. What does our opponent got for me here? Kumano. Alright, prowess is up the Forge Chanter. Battle Mouse gets a little bigger. Knocks us down to 14. No 5th land. Means we're going to take a little bit more damage before we can wipe this board. I suppose we could threaten to block with the Vents, but then we'd risk losing our land. A Spell Spear. Very prowess focused. Yeah, let's leave the Vents alone. With my luck, they would have some removal for it, and we would never get to our 5-mana board wipes. All right, we dropped to 11. Okay, good. Untap Swamp. Let's drop that. Let's go Gix's command first. That should be able to hit everything. Yep, we do both the 2 or less and the sacrifice your biggest thing. We know they've got Kumano flipping over. Hopefully they've got some creatures in reserve here. Thinking about the 3-mana Hasty Dragon guy. I know that's the official wizard's name for him. Alright, go for the Throat to draw. Yeah, Kumano on the board. This is tricky for Devils, but I want to try it anyway. Let's just leave them alone. Worst case scenario, we just double block Kumano with the Devils. Get no triggers out of it. Come on, opponent. Alright, swinging in with everybody. Yeah, let's go for the double block. Opponent's still got 4 cards left. Don't want to get blown out by any monstrous rages, lightning strikes, etc. Alright, play with fire the draw. Let's fire up this vent. Kind of want to keep drawing towards some of our lands. Let's keep the devil back just in case there is a hasty ground guy. Discard 1 bombardment. Carnosaur the draw. Not exactly the land I was hoping for. land number 4, still at a healthy 18. Redcap Gutter Dweller. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 rats. Okay. Well, opponent filling this board back up. No problem. Knocks us down to 7 with that attack from the chick. Let's go Gix's Command. Hits everything, including our devil. Hooray, we do get the 1 point of damage going at our opponent. Alright, we gotta pick up lands number 6 and 7 here. Whole game plan depends on that. Alright, opponent with a land and nothing. So maybe just a bunch of pump spells, maybe some burn. Alright, what's the fastest way we can dig ourselves out of this? I think it's Bombardment. They had nothing on the board last turn because the Carnosaur makes a good blocker. Okay, looks like they've just drawn a couple of lands. Well, let's go Carnosaur here. Odds are we'll actually hit a spell with this. Opponent thinking about it. Let's go for the throat. We'll just put that in our hand. That's fine. And at least we've got a beefy blocker, so opponent's going to need several lightning strikes. Hopefully we can start gaining some life before that happens. Alright, Raging Battle Mouse. Opponent might be able to sneak some damage in. We've got the Great Door. Should probably just be a Celestis, but we're trying it out. Let's go for the throat here on the Battle Mouse. Gix's Command. Oh, well, we could put some counters on our creature and return some stuff to our hand. We might have one thing down there. Let's choose, yep, Carnosaur. Becomes a 9/8. We'll get some lifelink out of that. Good, good. Yep, a little big for red to deal with. Opponent's taking a peek at it. All right, coming across. If this connects, we're going to be in good shape. All right, opponent down to 8 with that attack. We go up to 16. Yeah, let's just pass. We've got lots of spells in hand to keep activating Bombardment. Okay, opponent's got a Swift Spear. Having a good think. Come on, opponent. Still reading the Carnosaur. All right. Passing to us. Let's go Edict to get rid. Well, now let's just go big score. We've got Gix in hand, or under Bombardment rather. Let's see what we pick up this time. We pick up Go for the Throat anyway. Let's go Gix's Command. Gonna make them sacrifice and put more counters on the Carnosaur. Doing the sacrifice because they could potentially pump it up if we choose the 2 or less mode. Okay, opponent's got Witchstalker Frenzy. Oh, just the one though. A second one would have been able to take out the Carnosaur. We finally draw Hit the Mother Lode. We're going to play that for sure. Activates Bombardment. We're going to play with fire our opponent. Use this Gix's Command again. Let's put some more counters on this Carnosaur. Opponent's being a good sport about all this. I appreciate it, opponent. Alright, we hit the Mother Lode. Into big score. So we get the difference in treasures and attack for the win with a Carnosaur. Alright, this feels pretty good. Let's keep going with this. Okay. Now I'm going to keep this. I'm going to tell you why. We've got terrible pain lands in hand. We've got the Great Door in hand. So we've got 2 things we can do by turn 3, one of which provides offense if this is a control deck, and the other provides us a way to draw into something better than what we've got here. So let's go with the Door. Black and red, probably going to be able to remove our early Fleshgorgers, whereas the Door can probably dig us into some more and better lands. Oh, opponent with the Brotherhood's End to remove Matzalantli the Great Door. So we're going to use it ahead of time. Drop one of these Hit the Mother Lodes into the graveyard. Let's play out a Fleshgorger now. Yeah, so no matter what choice we made, the opponent was ready for us there. Brotherhood's End able to take care of either of these things. Opponent on some black and red, got an Archfiend of the Dross. Alright, let's play out this tap land. We're going to attack since the Gorger has Menace. And we're going to lay down another Gorger right behind that. So this should gain us enough life to offset the damage from the Archfiend every turn, and hopefully we can put our opponent in a position where they start having to use their own removal on the Archfiend. Okay, opponent comes across, gets us to 14 with that attack. Haunted Ridge the draw. Alright, let's go attacking first and see what kind of response the opponent might have. Alright, looks like nothing, so that brings us back up to 20. Let's play out land number 6 and just do straight Carnosaur. Carnosaur lands, we get a Discover 5 out of the deal. We get a lowly Play with Fire. Well, we'll take that. A little burn for the scry. Haunted Ridge. Well, that does allow us to play Hit the Mother Lode, and that's definitely what I'm here for. Archfiend down to 2 counters. We're still at 20. So if our creatures don't take care of the opponent, this Archfiend just might. Alright, go for the Throats the Carnosaur. Archfiend's going to trigger, bringing us to 18. They're going to fire up the vents, and they do. Alright, attacks with just the vents. Looking to discard and draw. Brings us to 16. This Archfiend's not going to be blocking anybody, though. Okay, well, we're going for it anyway. We're going to attack first. Opponent can't block because our Gorgers have Menace. And, I mean, what's the downside? We're just going to hit the Mother Lode here. We pick up Bombardment off of Hit the Mother Lode. Gives us 4 treasures in reserve. Alright, opponent, we're kind of shields down. What do you got for me? Oh, that's a good answer. Etali Primal Conqueror. What did they get from us? Alright, they've got to go for the Throat. That could have been either one of us. That might have been theirs. Yeah, that was theirs because big score. Most definitely ours. Well, they can't go for the Throat, our creature. Because they're both artifacts. They can save themselves from the Archfiend, I suppose. Big score themselves into hopefully more removal. Because these creatures still have Menace. So we can put some counters on ours. Make them sacrifice Etali and activate Bombardment. Which picks up Hit the Mother Lode. Thank you. Good game. Alright, back here for another one. Got a Carnosaur in the opening hand. Loving the secondary ability on that. A little expensive for 3 damage, but, you know, I'll take it. It's got a good upside. Opponent's got a Scamp on the other side here. We'll see if they run any Urabrask's Forge, any oil counters to go with that. Blazing Crescendo. So exiles a card and pumps the creature up. So we're going to take 4 from that attack. Drop down to 16. We get a free proliferate, but nothing to proliferate. So, yeah, let's use the Virtue here. Take care of the Scamp. That way it does 0 damage to nobody. And we can save the Carnosaur for maybe something a little bigger. If they got any Swift Spears. Voldaren Thrillseeker. That is a fun one. 3/3 though, still in range of the Carnosaur. Tell you what, let's just pass. So we drew a big score there. And that could ramp us into an early Carnosaur, Bombardment, even Hit the Mother Lode if we pick one up. Ooh, opponent's got another Blazing Crescendo. Okay, so this is going to get dangerous. Hits us for 6, drops us to 12. Follows up with the Battle Mouse. That's big score. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. Opponent could hit us and sacrifice the Thrill Seeker for lethal. Yeah, let's go ahead and wipe this board here. No need to hurry. We picked up a Hit the Mother Lode, but we gotta stay alive to play it. A hasty reinforced Ronin with an antagonize. All the pump spells in this deck. All right, this is painful. We dropped to 6 here. Ronin's gonna go back to the hand. Okay, well, tell you what, let's go with the Carnosaur here. It's a big enough blocker where I don't think they can remove it. And pump a creature for the win. And we get a nice little discover here. Let's see what we can dig for. Play with fire. The least impressive discover 5 we could have hoped for. Virtue on top. It's life gain. Yeah, let's keep it. Suppose we could always target our own Carnosaur with that if we're worried about life. Alright, opponent decides to channel away the Ronin now that we have a big blocker in the way. Ginger Brute. Now, hold on a sec. Okay, Ginger Brute can't be blocked by the Carnosaur. This could be it. Do they have a pump spell? Alright, I guess not. So we're down to 5 with that attack. We're not going to be able to block this creature. I think we got a big score. Let's toss Hit the Mother Lode for a second. Big score gets us... Ooh, Fleshgorger's nice. In a tap land. Let's play out the land. Let's see, we got, what, 5 mana left over? Alright, kind of want to at least get rid of this Ginger Brute. Gain a little bit of life. Oh, I suppose they could... Oh, they probably could have eaten that in response, right? Anyway, let's play out this Fleshgorger. Try to gain some life back before we get hastily burned out of this game. Oh, there's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's one. Do we attack? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Just because they're low on cards in hand, I don't think they can remove this and kill us. Alright, there's Kumano. That takes us to 3. Do they have the final lightning strike for me? No, they don't. Kind of lucked out of that one. Good game. Alright. Well, it's a little expensive hand-wise, but at least we're going first. Don't like to see all the 5 and 6 drops, but at least the Carnosaur has a cheaper mode. Alright, let's play the Lounge. Opponent's on some black and white. Spellbook Vendor. Haven't seen a lot of that since Eldraine came out, but it's not a terrible card. In fact, it's so annoying. Let's Carnosaur that right now. Opponent with more Spellbook Vendor plays. I guess they do get the roll token this time. What makes sense here? Yeah, let's go Proving Ground. I guess that works, yeah. I guess trying to keep some untapped lands for... Ooh, Archon of the Wild Rose. Makes the vendor a 5/5 flyer instantly? Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, scries one to the top. Alright. Yeah, we gotta wipe this board. Can't have the Archon hanging around. So I imagine there's more roll creatures and creators in that deck. Alright. Opponent could be sitting on some removal in that hand. Yeah, we've got enough backup lands. Let's fire up this Vents. We only have pretty much board wipes in hand, so kind of need to dig for a little something else. We'll discard... Let's discard the Springs. Oh, there's something to do. Alright, hopefully these Vents live, because I would love to cast a Carnosaur next turn. Oh, opponent's got a Restless Land of their own. Tale of the Ages, that's also going to pump up any enchanted creatures they've got. Yep, just for them. Alright, let's go Carnosaur to discover 5. We get a big score. Alright, yeah, we'll take that. Discard the Lounge. Couple of treasures. And another big score to go with it. Tell you what, we've got a lot of mana. Gonna hang on to these lands to discard later. Ooh. Is that a planar disruption? Yeah, it was. Alright, so can't attack or block. Alright, we've drawn Burn Down the House. We've got big score. Let's go... Yeah, let's fire up one of these Vents. Dig for a little more to do. Well, if the opponent's got instant removal, they're not taking the bait, so... Quite disciplined. Alright, Virtue of Persistence, a pretty good draw. Kind of a nice late-game haymaker. Fires up the Restless Fortress. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of shields down to that. Can't really effectively block it. Alright, let's try big score then. We'll get rid of Burn Down the House. 2 lands off the top, not the best. Another Virtue of Persistence. Alright, let's play out a big Virtue of Persistence. Let's just pass it on back. Okay. Opponent with the Seal from Existence. Removes Virtue of Persistence from the board. Don't like that, opponent. Trying to end this. Ooh. I do like that. Arcane Bombardment. Do we have enough to do both? I don't know if we do. Let's kind of do a little head fake here. Second Virtue of Persistence. This feels like a slower opponent who wants to remove my stuff. So let's give them the thing I care less about first. Try to draw out the removal, and then when they're totally done, we can follow with Bombardment and Gix's Command. Alright, so the Hex Mage comes down, makes itself a 3/3. Restless Fortress. Pretty safe to attack here. Not a bad attacker hitting us for 3. Alright, Virtue of Persistence is going to happen. Let's pull up our old Carnosaur here. Gets us... Alright, yeah, go for the throat. We're only pulling up small spells with our Carnosaurs today. It's fine. Draw a Proving Ground. Let's go Arcane Bombardment. Alright. Let's fire up one of these Vents. And let's go attacking. So we've got the Carnosaur, which is a good blocker. Let's toss this Proving Ground. Okay, we get a Carnosaur. We're 1 mana shy being able to use it. Was kind of hoping for like a Play with Fire. Go for the throat there. As the opponent planar disrupts our other Carnosaur. Are we going to lose to this fortress? Down to 6. Only creatures left, I guess, are in our opponent's graveyard. Archon, I mean, our stuff can't attack. It's probably Vendor, I think. I mean, at least we could potentially get the Scry if we get some rolls going. Ooh, hit the Mother Lode, the draw. Well, I mean, yeah, we're going to hit the Mother Lode. Activate Bombardment. pick up a burn down the house. Let's make some devils with that. Hit the Mother Lode gets us big score. All right. Let's discard one of these Gix's commands. We get Virtue and Play with Fire, which is great. Vendor's going to happen. We'll turn one of these devils into a devil sorcerer, and we'll just send 2 over there. Since these Carnosaurs aren't doing any blocking. All right, I feel a little safer with that. It's probably a little too cautious, but that's what we're going with. I suppose Gix's command can help gain us some life. All right, opponent's still going with the fortress. Spellbook Vendor. All right, let's go play with fire on our opponent. We pick up big score with Bombardment. Let's do that. Get rid of the Virtue, and let's burn down the house. Let's just wipe this board. This is getting too dirty. And it gives us an opportunity to hit that fortress. Couple of lands to draw from big score there. Takenuma. Yeah, let's put that away. We've got a Carnosaur in hand. It's okay. All right. And yeah, I think we're up to 12 treasures on the board now. Yeah, let's just take the Archon. It's a nice 4/4 flyer. We draw Gorger. All right. Well, let's play out the Haunted Ridge. Kind of not sure the order to do all these things in. So we've got a couple of things under Bombardment. Let's go Gix's command. Let's return some things to our hand, although I don't know if we have that much to return. We get another command, so let's do more counters and more lifelink. Might as well just do the same mode. Big score away this extra land in hand. And burn down the house for some more tokens. Alright, so the Archon's not hasty. I'm not sure this is enough counters to finish the game, so let's pump up the Archon as a blocker. We'll put some more counters on one of these devils, and yeah, opponent's seen enough. Good game.